All right, we're live. I'm gonna go over my favorite aspects for Valkyrie and Star-Lord. This is Descry Gaming. So this is similar to some of the deck techs out there, but this one's sort of my own twist of I pick a hero and then I'm just gonna pick the favorite aspect I've play tested with these heroes. Meaning, I've played many games. I've tried many things. Not saying you can't play these heroes in different aspects, but I'm gonna basically tie it down to my favorite aspect for that hero. I'll go over how you can go about playing the hero with this aspect. So I'm going to start with up here, subs. It depends on a couple things. Say you're with playing Valkyrie and there's a deck that has lots of stun and confuse, mainly stun. Not really. You're not actually thwarting that much with Valkyrie in this deck. So I would say if there's lots of stun in an encounter deck, you want to sub these two cards in. Usually take out your healing card here, and then maybe another card, but definitely a healing card, and sub two of these in if there's lots of stun hate, because that can slow down Valkyrie. The other thing is, if you're against someone with steady or against someone with stalwart, you want to get rid of these drop kicks. Okay, either you want to go with Fossilade or Relentless Assault. If there's not a lot of minions and you can't stun the villain, or say you're playing on standard 2, you might want to just drop the drop kicks out and then put Fossilade on, or again minion heavy. So these are good subs to consider. But normal villains, this is a good choice. Drop kicks, because you're protecting Valkyrie, you're protecting your ally, you're slowing down the villain. A lot of times activations can lead to bad things. So yeah, so now you understand a little bit why I have cards up here, subs. Going over, I'm just gonna get the subs out of the way. Star-Lord, we're doing leadership. And if you're playing solo, you want to sub out Maria Hill for a Nick Fury. Okay? If you're playing with hardly any minions, if it's a very light minion deck, you want to sub out Hawkeye for White Tiger. Okay? So that's how these two sub cards are going to work. And let's first go into Valkyrie, because we've sort of gone through what the subs mean and now you understand. I really like her aggression, and now you might say, oh my god, you got Godslayer? I never see anybody use that. It's very expensive. Um, so let me explain why I think Godslayer is made for Valkyrie. Now, you don't want to run Godslayer if you're doing an encounter deck with not that many star stuff. I would say if the modular does not have many unique, so stars are basically that where the name is and you got a little star there. Okay, if you're finding a counter set that does not have that many unique minions, then I would sub this out for a card of your choice. Okay. Um, so disclaimer on this, but if you're a lot of these harder scenarios, especially the newer expansions, there's a lot more unique enemies. Like it's pretty. I think that's the new standard. Like, so this is where Valkyrie really shines, because Valkyrie she's a duelist. Okay, I kind of call this deck. If I do post it on Marvel DB, I'll probably call it like the Valkyrie the duelist. Um, but we got, okay, so if you're fighting something, right, and you put, um, let's say you put, your Death Glow on, Dragon Fane's going to give her +2, so that's 4 attack, 5 attack from combat training, and then if it's unique, you're going to go to 7. Now, most special minions in this game, including like Wrecking Crew, I believe let's do a double check. I think 7 is usually the highest. There might be an 8 villain. Let's see. So 7, 6, 7. Okay, so you got Wrecker, who's an exception. But the nice thing about Valkyrie is you have ways, like, even if, say, you did have Wrecker come out and, oh, you got him down to 7, 1 health, you have so many, like, you have 3 into the phrase, you have 3 have at these, so you can abuse that 1 damage left to do all that overkill or threat removal, and then ready after you kill it, and then, attack for some more damage. And I know not everybody is in love with Valkyrie, but I think if you play her a certain way, and you really, it's just like Hulk. I try to tell people Hulk is not a bad hero. It's just that there's very limited ways to really build him and pilot him the most optimal way. And there's little tricks you can do, like with Hulk, to kind of get the most out of him. But I'm not saying Hulk is like, oh, he's awesome, he's wonderful. But I feel like heroes like Hulk, Valkyrie, they tend to get overlooked real quick just because they don't play super easy like some of the other heroes. But anyways, she becomes like the best duelist in this game because literally she can duel someone, kill, death glow ready, put another duel another person, kill, and you have that crazy damage with Godslayer. So when those big minions come out, you don't even need any help. Like, you could just be like, I got this, hold my beer, and then you go and kill that minion. So it's really fun. And then if you're doing the overkills and that, you can like attack the villain, overkill, or use one of your events to kill, overkill, or threat removal ready, attack the villain again, put another death glow on a minion, again, do another attack ready. So that's sort of her gimmick is she can do a lot of damage, and she's really good. There's another strategy you can do with Valkyrie is in certain scenarios, especially like, say, okay, Green Goblin, you can systematically, with order, Chooser of the Slain, you can pull out those goblins. They come out on boosts. So what you can do, you can thin out that deck, and no other hero can do that. I mean, Thor, he discards until he gets a minion. So you might discard into something you don't want. So she's really good in certain scenarios where there might be a minion that has a nasty come out on boost or does something nasty on a boost. And Valkyrie can just do Chooser of the Slain. It gets discarded and then comes into play, so you don't reveal it. So again, I think that's overlooked by a lot of players. It can, in some of the scenarios in this game, it gives you an advantage. And again, she's the only hero that can sort of do that. So again, I think that's another thing that people tend to brush by and they don't even see it. So the other thing you might say, Descry, yeah, what do you do when this comes in? Let's just remove this so it doesn't confuse us. Yeah, so what do you do when your Shadows of the Past comes in, and you've got Seduce and all this stuff? Well, okay, I admit that is probably the scariest thing for her to deal with, but there is a solution. Bug is amazing. Look at Bug. Okay, Bug works so good with Valkyrie because Valkyrie, you're always attacking. You're hardly ever gonna use that one thought unless it's like life or death, or there's like a scheme you really want to take care of, and she's your last option for one thought. So with Bug is like a personal beat cop with potential to stack him with Energy Spirit to get rid of Tough, so 3 damage piercing. But basically I use him like a beat cop pretty much the whole game. And the thing is, if you have Hemdell out, or at least 2 other allies out, but preferably Hemdell, Bug and Hemdell can kill the Enchantress thing, which then will allow you to flip then allow you to get rid of it. But you might say, well, okay, Descry, yeah, I might not get into Hemdell, but you can, with Bifrost, you can pretty much get him. If you haven't drawn into him, you can get him. So definitely recommend try to get Hemdell out if you can. I know he costs a lot, but it's good just to have him out in case your shadows does happen. And if you have like Thor, Throg, or Annabelle, better yet, Bug, you can just get rid of it. But that's your biggest weakness. I'm not gonna teeter totter away from it. But like I said, you can somewhat survive if you try to keep Hemdell out, and with Bug, you're good to go. But uh, it, that's why you want to try to maintain the main, and that's why you have these Battle Furies. You have her toolkit, Flight of the Valkyrie or Valkyrie. So you always want to try to keep it low just in case your Shadows comes out, because you're going to have to flip. So if it's low to begin with, then it should be safe to kind of flip. But two-player, if you're playing two-player, your ally can kind of help you out there. So yeah, basically in a nutshell, I think she works really well because she wants to be dueling everybody, and aggression gives her that stopping power with combat training, and then Godslayer if you're dealing with lots of uniques. You do have some subs, like I said, depending on lots of stun. You want godlike stamina, lots of minions. Maybe the villain has steady or something, then take out the drop kicks, and then you have also exhaust a weapon, which you can exhaust Dragon Fang, or if you're not running Godslayer, the spear, so then it'd be better running those because you have two weapons to exhaust. What else can I say before we go? Yeah, Holly Heroes works so well with her because she is literally killing everybody, and you'll have games where you get like 6, 7, 8 counters easily. Again, Moment of Triumph, you can do that with these 6 cards. So heal up. That's one way to kind of heal up again. And that's pretty much Valkyrie in a nutshell. She is kind of one-dimensional in sort of, but I think there's a lot of things here that I kind of talked about that people don't see with Valkyrie, and it can help also a multiplayer or in the scenario you're up against. All right, so moving to Star-Lord. Now, I've chosen leadership as my favorite for him, and the synergy with him really is you've got a lot of allies, okay? Your key allies that you want to stick is Black Panther and Gamora. And Groot for defensive. So defensive meaning Star-Lord only has 10 health. So with Groot, if you throw a reinforced suit, or say you're gearing up for your combo, you can even throw this on Gamora to give her 2 more activations. Those are your 2 targets that you want to throw a reinforced suit. But Groot, he can be like a blocker. If you block someone around and he gets damaged a bit, you can throw ready for action to put tough on him. Then he blocks again and he actually heals, takes no damage, heals too. So you can actually like literally just make him the ultimate blocker. Plus reinforced suit with team training. That's going to give him a total of 7, 8, 9 health. So that's pretty bonkers. Make the Call is awesome because you can get cards if you're playing with somebody, or even if you're not. It's still, because sometimes, like one game, Black Panther had Blaze of Glory on him, and I was ready to time my combo, and I got an obligation against Kane, and it literally took my most expensive unit that I own and put it on an obligation, which I lost him. I lost Blaze of Glory. But later, I got rid of the obligation, went to my discard. I then got Make the Call, so I managed to play Black Panther, come in, and then re-grab my Blaze of Glory, and then do my combo to win the game. So, yeah, Make the Call has some advantage. A lot, though, with team play, it's amazing, because you can make the call with Maria Hill, doing play actions and cool stuff like that. But the combo really is all about your get readies on Gamora. Gamora's getting events. Most of your events are the get readies and the daring escapes, and then you have a couple sliding shots. Do have these two ready for actions, and then finally I make the call, and then a blaze of glory. But that's pretty much it. So generally speaking, when she's activating, she's usually getting a get ready or a daring escape, or sometimes a sliding shot, which all is awesome once you activate blaze of glory. So she's doing 4, 4, 4, and then if you have rapid response, she'll come back with 1, and it's basically like a free ready, and then she's got more health, and then you're attacking again. With major victory, you time it where you get them to 1 hit point, then you can ready her again. So there's a lot of readying here, and the fun part is it's gonna help you get these 3 daring escapes, which then put 3 more encounter cards out. And then when you do your what could go wrong, you'll get 4 encounter cards. So sliding shot with 4 encounter cards would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 13 damage. So 13 damage, and you could probably, if you're lucky, maybe get 2 sliding shots off. So that's 26 damage right there. Not to mention how many times you're activating with Gamora. Literally, I've done, and I'm not joking, I've done 50 to 60 damage routinely with this combination here that I'm showing you. So let that sink in. On one turn, I can literally do 50, sometimes 60 damage just by, kind of flowing with all these cards that I'm showing you here. Again, the thing with the Star-Lord is you got to survive, okay? There's way to survive with Star-Lord. You've got Bad Boy. I don't know if I have I don't think I put Bad Boy out, but that's the one that throws him back into Alter Ego, take no damage, draw 2 cards. You got your ready for actions, give tough. So yeah, then we got regroup, which is, I kind of didn't, when this first came out, I kind of just ignored it, to be honest, but I saw other people kind of using it, especially Beat the Game. Steve was using it in a Drax deck, which was pretty amazing. The amazing part is you can be in Alter, you can be in Hero, doesn't matter, and it lasts to the end of the round. So if you're playing multiplayer game, a lot of your allies can block and get their allies back into their hand, either use them for resources. So it's very good card. I think people underestimate this card in leadership. Really good. It gets better in multiplayer. Cool thing with Beta Ray Bill, you can use these readies too in the early game if there's minions that he can slay. And then so slay a minion, use get ready, get another minion in killing range, another kill. So removing 4 off the main. So I've done that too as well. So again, I got everything here. Every card has sort of a purpose. Innovation also to heal Gamora. Rocket for dealing with minions. Hawkeye for minions. Card draw. Readying Gamora. So again, I would call this deck my something. I was gonna call it like I'm in love with Gamora. Yeah, I'm in love with Gamora. So I gotta build it on DB, but basically I'm gonna call this deck I'm in love with Gamora, and it's really all about Gamora and getting Star-Lord the combos with his events. And I didn't talk too much about Adam Warlock, so he's awesome too, because it gives Star-Lord some survivability with healing, either to do a potential 4 threat removal, 1+3, potential 4 damage, 3+1. So there's a lot of flexibility. Very fun deck, but it can go pretty south. You need to know when to do I gotta, what could go wrong? Sometimes you don't want to pull that trigger. You have to know when to really use that. Another thing is he works really well with someone running the shield deck because they can look at the top cards, or if you're playing with Spider Woman, she can look at the top card and you can see if it's an easy encounter card, and then you could just go, oh yeah, I'm gonna do what could go wrong. So, or if someone plays a Himdall, you can kind of get an idea, or even say I thought about maybe putting Falcon in just because when Falcon comes, you can see the encounter deck, so it kind of gives Star-Lord, some recon to use his ability or not. But again, like you can even put. I'll just do this real quick. I guess Falcon as a sub. Again, if there's not a lot of minions, you could sub in Falcon or sub in White Tiger. It's up to you. But this is the general list, and Star-Lord's got everything. He's got his guns for piercing, 3 damage. Again, his weakness is his 10 hit points, but like I said, with these allies and regroup, with Groot to block, tough, ready for action, you have ways of surviving, and it's all about building and surviving. And you got Nowhere. Another cool thing is if you have Nowhere out and say you use Bifrost and you get Angela. So Angela comes out, you actually draw a card, and she comes out free from Bifrost. So she comes out of nowhere, draws you a card. It's a pretty good combination. So that's about it. This does it for the Descry favorite aspects for Star-Lord and Valkyrie. If you guys like this sort of me talking and picking an aspect of my favorite for a hero, I'll try to do more. If you have recommendations like, yeah, I want to see Hulk, or I want to see Doctor Strange, or whoever, I can, again, pick my favorite aspect and go into detail how I kind of pilot them